Yes, a question for the professor. As he was going through the various attributes in sport, one of the attributes he had the question mark on was the physical aspect. And as a sports administrator, when I encounter other sports administrators, particularly those from the physically oriented sport, this is the one characteristic that they will hold out on for denying, admitting that we are legitimately entitled to be called a sport. But as I come to the Olympiad and I watch many of the teams from the developing country, or certainly from my own country, one of the areas that I find that they fall down on is how during the progress of the competition they start to tire mentally and physically against their opponents, because many of them are amateurs. We don't have any professional players, so they're going up against a seasoned grandmaster who does this for a living, and you have an amateur, and there's a certain level beyond which you start, I can observe an immediate deterioration in play, and I put it down to physical conditioning. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this.
First of all, Mr. Herbert is the chairman of the Development Commission. He is from Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, I know. So, of course, from Barbados, but this is a joke between us. So, please.
Thank you for the question. I think it is important to notice this. Although chess is mentally oriented sport, it has some physical element in it too, especially when you consider the competition lasting for several hours, several days. There is a stress on postural muscles, as I quoted earlier on. I have some experience with physically oriented, but in itself less physical oriented sports as well. I did some research on those things, and I came to notice that we have higher correlation with some fitness elements, especially some sports which are again mentally oriented, less physical, such as archery, shooting. We found that they deteriorate in postural muscles in time during the long hours of competition. There is a considerable stress on certain musculature, and because of fatigue in those muscles, the performance deteriorate. And once you have deterioration in muscles, then mentally you also seem to deteriorate. And I think in chess, I haven't researched in this, but I'm planning to. But I can draw some conclusions from these sports, saying that we may be facing with a similar problem in chess as well. But I'd like to research on those things. I don't have hard evidence, but I am elaborating. I'm jumping into conclusion, let's say, that your physical element is a big handicap, I think, in long-lasting competitions, even in chess. If you have less fitness, then you have less mental resilience in long hours.
Hi, thank you. I'm Tim Kett. I'm playing in the Welsh team in the Olympiad, and I'm also working full time with teaching children in chess in Wales. I completely agree, but all the argument just now about physical element of chess, I think it helps hugely to be in good physical shape. And I've debated for many years about this question, is chess a sport, and so on. In many ways it becomes tiring, you know, having these arguments with people. I think the important element of it is you know, when we come to governments and authorities, how should chess be treated? You know, everybody agrees that chess is a good thing, is something we should encourage children to play, and it has the many benefits that the professor talked about. So the question is, how is the government going to, where are they going to align it? You know, one of the reasons we want to get it considered as a sport is to say then, should it come under the sports department within a government? But we're also talking about the education department, and this is a very practical problem for us, is which government department should we best place chess under? Should it be considered education first and foremost? Should it be handled by the education department or by the sports department or both? This is a question, very practical. Within Wales itself, we are talking with the government, and they are moving us from one to another, deciding where we should come. Does it make sense? And I'd be very interested in your views on, when you are talking with governments, do you talk first and foremost with sport or education department? Yeah, thank you.
It was a comment mostly.
I don't know if I can answer this question.
Okay, basically, what I can say that when you communicate with the government, I can give you my experience. For example, I made a mistake. Everybody knows that first time I went to government, National Education Minister, I told them, okay, I want chess in school. They asked me why. I said, okay, I want professional top grandmasters in the primary schools. We found talents, and I said, okay, but why you are here? We are not horse race farm. I mean, racehorse farm, okay. Excuse my English, but we are not a farm here for competition. We are education ministry. What is the place for this? Then we learned our lesson. It's a very difficult process, and I will tell you, including Turkish Chess Federation on all these developed federations, we are at the very, 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 very early stage of being a sport. Believe me, it will take maybe 20, 30 years. For me, there is no discussion that chess is a 100% sport. Even Mr. Acikada, he was not believing that chess is a sport in 2001. He entered, he saw, he made research, he understood that it's a part of sport as important. So we need time. That's the reason now FIDE, I believe the chess in school program of FIDE is fantastic, it will go fantastic, but at the same time, as soon as possible, we should start chess academical part of the chess. How we have to generate scientists. We are not scientists. We are chess people, politicians, poor grandmasters, managers of federations. We have to have professor, doctor of chess, professor, research assistants of chess. We have to have faculties on this. It will not take 2-3 years. It will take 20-30 years, but we need this. Is there any country there is no scientists on football or basketball or volleyball? It's not possible. So we have a lot of time to progress. We should understand this, and we should work on this direction. That's the reason, for me, it's a great honor. I wanted to invite Caner Acikada to tell this us, and we should wake up ourselves.
I'm Susan Polgar. I live in the United States now, originally from Hungary. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Professor Acikada for the excellent presentation, and it was very insightful. I work also for a university, and I'm very interested, of course, in the scientific elements that you touched upon. I also would like to congratulate FIDE and the Chess in Schools Committee for starting the first conference, first of many. It's very needed. I have also been a great supporter and promoter of chess in the schools. Going back to the question whether chess should be as a sport or from the education element, I think both should be approached, the Ministries of Education as well as the Ministry of Sport, because chess is both. As it has been known for many years, chess is sport, science and art all at the same time. So I don't think we should replace or choose one or another, but try to approach it from all three angles actually. But at this point I would like to kind of make a comment or a question more regarding to the presentation of Professor regarding the physical preparation in chess and endurance. And I can tell you from personal experience as a former competitor that I think physical preparation is extremely, extremely important. And in my childhood, back in the 70s or early 80s, it wasn't yet recognized as so much as it is today. especially among women players. It was really neglected, I have to say. And I think I was one of the pioneers in advocating and promoting and encouraging other players to make sure they understand how important it is. And I can tell you that, for example, when I used to prepare for my World Championships, I used to work out 5-6 times a week, an hour and a half or 2 every day. And in addition to trying to stay in shape, for that particular reason, to have the endurance during a long 6-7 hour game. People not playing chess typically don't understand that, oh, how much effort, physical effort does it take to lift up a chess horse? It's not a real horse you're trying to lift up after all. But in reality it is that it drains a lot of energy. And I have spoken to many of my colleagues, grandmasters, professional chess players, and many of them tell me they lose a lot of pounds during a single game or during a tournament. During 2 weeks of competitions, they can lose easily 5 to 10 pounds, easily, or even more. So I'm kind of curious from your perspective, from the scientific angle, if there has been any research done, or I certainly would encourage, if it hasn't done yet, to see how is it possible that while we're seemingly not doing any physical activity that would cause the loss of weight, in reality, I can tell you on more of, I guess, anecdotal experience of many chess players that they believe that they lose weight, many lose weight by sitting for 6 hours and of course trying their very hardest at the board, and yet it has a very serious physical result. So I'm just wondering what your comments on that would be.
Thank you. It's very important remarks that you made. With regards to physical side and the fitness side, actually I don't have any scientific evidence based on chess players. We moved in chess, and suggested on traditional approaches, cultural approaches from the sports side, especially with more mentally oriented sports, similar to more mentally oriented sports, and we suggested for chess players as well to get involved with some fitness elements. And it is a speculative at the moment, a speculative stage at the moment. It's not research-based finding saying that fitness and this type of fitness is suitable for chess performance or correlated with higher marks, etc. As I said earlier on, we like to research on this. But with the research evidence that we have with some other, again, mentally oriented sports, we have some conclusive evidence to show that higher the fitness level, strength, endurance, defined by VO2 max, percentage of VO2 max, etc., and some postural muscles, strength of postural muscles, we found better scoring points in some sports, again, more mentally oriented ones. So our conclusion for chess also at the moment on a speculative basis, and we'd like to research on that and demonstrate if there is any correlation between fitness and chess performance points.
Thank you so much, and I would like to offer on behalf of Webster University, where I work at the moment, to maybe collaborate in learning further.
Certainly. Thank you.
Ma'am, Grandmaster Polgar, I want to thank you